Mars, you refer to it and believe you understand it. No air on the red planet, no life. However, you are ignorant of Mars because its real name is Barsoom. It is not dead or without air, but it is in the process of dying. That was taken care of by Zodanga City. The predator city Zodanga is moving, consuming, and depleting Barsoom of its vitality. Only the enormous city of Helium dared to struggle, persevered, and stood firm against the Zodanga airships for 1,000 years. Now story begins from the crowded streets of New York City in 1881. A man manages to avoid another. He eventually walks into a building while appearing to be anxious. He spends extra money inside to send an express telegram. The telegram is picked up by a young man. He is being urged to act quickly to save his uncle. The young man travels to the large estate of his late uncle, John Carter, where a lawyer informs him that John Carter passed away suddenly and left the young man with everything. Edgar Rice Burroughs, a young man, is passed an old journal by the man. After the attorney has left, the young man starts reading. After the American Civil War, the story starts in Arizona. Gold prospecting is being done by John Carter, a decorated former captain in the Confederate Army. It appears that the locals don't like him. Carter is under pressure from Cavalry Colonel Powell to fight the Apache. After several unsuccessful escape attempts due to Carter's refusal to cooperate, he tricks a cell guard, knocks him out, and rides Colonel Powell's horse out of Fort Grant. Powell and the other cavalrymen start to pursue Carter, but they are forced to stop when they notice that Carter has met up with an Apache war band on horses. The tension is heightened by the fact that both sides are armed and cautious. Soon there will be a shooting. Carter decides to flee, but Colonel Powell is shot, so Carter goes back to get the wounded man. They locate a small cave after making their way into a box canyon. When the Apache see something on the rock above the cave, they quickly retreat. Carter wanders back to where the Apache had been and finds the spider symbol etched into the rock face. Powell is left near the entrance as he investigates further inside the cave. Carter discovers a strangely marked chamber there with gold-lined walls and ceiling. Powell is almost too late to shout a warning because the man is so entranced that he misses the stranger who appears behind him. The stranger is a balding man with a shining robe and a knife that appeared out of nowhere. Carter shoots the bald man during the struggle and discovers that he has taken a blue glow medallion. Carter picks it up and says the words he overheard the other person say. Suddenly, he awakens in an unfamiliar desert. Carter tries to walk but trips over his own feet and seems to float. It takes him a while to figure out how to move around in this unfamiliar setting. He moves to the nearby hill, where he discovers a nest of eggs hatching into green, six-limbed babies. He is about to leave, disturbed, when he sees a group of green creatures coming. When they spot Carter, they start firing until one of them orders the others to stop. They are mounted on powerful animals and have firearms. The four-armed, tall, green alien salutes Carter and puts down his sword and rifle. Despite a language barrier, the two are able to give their names, just like the Apaches. The leader of his tribe, Tarkas, is the Green Man. Carter is asked to jump again because Tarkas is aware that he is not a local. Carter seizes the opportunity to leap in the direction of Tarkas' weapons, but before he can fight, he is outmatched. Once more, Tarkas motions for the rest of his group to keep Carter safe. They take Carter to their home in the ruins of an ancient city and gather the hatchlings, killing the unhatched eggs. Dejathoris is honing a speech in the royal palace of Helium. In an argument with his entourage, her father, Tardos Mors, the Jedak of Helium, arrives. Dejah exhibits a device that emits a weak blue ray, which she refers to as the ninth ray and which she claims is the source of their adversary Zodanga's newfound strength. One of the group members stealthily zaps the device, causing it to malfunction as the entourage discusses the possibilities. Tardos is aware that this ability might help level the playing field, but they do not have time to continue their investigation into the enigmatic blue ray. Dejah must marry Sabdan to put an end to the conflict, he tells her before dismissing the group. Dejah is devastated because she knows that the wedding won't likely stop the Zodangan's growth and that after getting hitched, she won't be able to carry on her research. Carter is now horrified and out of his element. He wants to return home and realizes that the medallion is probably the only option. Sadly, Tarkas has found the medallion and is sporting it. In the city, Carter is mistreated by other Tharks. They are unable to distinguish what kind of being he is, and because of his limited language skills, they perceive him as being similar to an animal or a baby. He is consequently placed with the infants. According to Thark tradition, the infants are released into the crowd, and whoever manages to catch one will be the hatchling's parent. Sola, a female whom the other Tharks appear to hold in low regard, especially another female by the name of Sarkoja, receives Carter. She pours a liquid into Carter's mouth after he has been cleaned and placed inside a pit to rest with the other infants. After that, he gains the ability to communicate in his native tongue.